Guys, welcome back to another That Fuzzing Rock Show interview. We have a good one for you today. We are being joined by Alex today from the band Owl. Alex, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing okay. Just getting off work.
So, boy, listen, man, I appreciate you taking the time to hang out with us today.
Great to be here.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. So let's get right into it, dude. We're here to talk about Owl's third full release, Geomancy. It's available February 17th on Lummpx Records. And we'll get to all that in just a minute, but let's kind of get to know the band a little bit for some that don't. You guys can check your streaming platforms for Owl's music. But let's talk about you first, Alex. What first got you into music? What first made you want to be a musician?
It was just hearing my dad's rock and roll stuff on a Sunday morning, having brunch out in California. And it's like, oh, all right. The first rock and roll memory is Tom Petty. And it's just some silly lyric about a tattoo. And I'm like, yeah, let's hear that one again. And then it was Neil Young and on and on. So luckily we had kind of ex-hippie parents that had a pretty good CD and record collection. So it's the easy jumping off point.
Gotcha. Now, did you always know that you wanted to be a musician, or was there another path you were thinking about taking?
I've thought about a lot of paths and I've tried a bunch of different paths, but musicianship has been a through line. It's kind of an anchor that I come back to. So it's not really a choice for me. Whether it's, whether I'm doing it professionally or not, that's, different, but I'm always going to be doing it. And that's for sure.
That's good, man. So you guys are based out of California. First, let me say that there are 3 brothers in the band.
Yes.
You guys are actually brothers, right? Not like the Ramones, where the Ramones just took the last name and they were brothers. Like, you guys are actual brothers, right?
It's all true. Same parents. All 3
good, man. Perfect. Yeah. So again, you guys are out of California. How did you guys first form your band, man? How did it come together?
It's actually Axel's idea. It was his brainchild. He's the youngest. He was probably in middle school even at that time. And he had a kind of a sleep stoner doom project he wanted to do. He was doing other projects with his friends. He showed me the songs that he was working on. And, we jammed one time when I was out there at the parents' house, and we put together some demos. The demos sounded pretty good. Clint, that's the oldest. He got his hands on those demos, and we just decided, we have enough for an album. Let's just do an album. So it was pretty much that simple. Clint had already been in the scene for a while and had some connections. He knew what recording studio he wanted to use. He was like, yeah, this isn't as hard as it might seem. We can just do this. so we decided to run with it. But yeah, that first album is basically the same as a batch of demos we did just to see if we could write a whole album.
Gotcha. So it looks like we are going to be having a bonus today. We're joined by someone else. We're joined by Magic. Oh, yeah. How you doing, bud? Good to see you.
I got to go get Axel. I'll be right back.
All right, man. Magic, you're muted, bud. Can you unmute your mic for me? There you go. What's up, man? Good to see you.
Yeah, you too.
So what do you do in the band, sir? Let's introduce you to everybody.
I am currently the bass player.
All right. Bass players never get enough love, do they?
Some bands they do.
Well, we're going to advocate for you to get love. So how did you first come to get in the band, bud?
I've known about them for many years. They've had probably 4 bass players before me.
Mm-hmm.
And they were just looking for one. I think it was 2018. They had an ad up and I responded to it. So
how is it hard not being a brother? Is that,
yeah, it has its pros and cons.
Do you feel like you're outnumbered at times, or?
No, they're pretty good about up on like that way.
Very good. Very good.
Individual.
So we're getting bonuses. Alex, you did not tell me you were going to grant me with gifts and bonuses, man. All these bonus band members dropping in. So, sir, the newest to the group, introduce yourself to the folks and what do you do in the band?
Hey there, I'm Axel. I play guitar, sing in Owl. my fucking brother, the best guitar player in the world. There's Magic over there, the best bass player in the world.
And of course, the drummer is nowhere to be found like Spinal Tap, right?
Yeah, I mean, he may just be a green puddle.
So we were just talking about the band and how you guys got together and stuff. So 2012, you guys released the self-titled Owl. Tell me a little bit about that album.
Yeah, we had done just a few shows. And we did one tour at that point. And we were just like, I guess we have a 7-inch. Let's record an album. I was still in high school. We did it on my spring break. I went over to Alex's house and we, got ready and everything. Went over there. He and I had demoed the whole thing out too the summer before that, in the countryside, which is pretty cool. Anything to add on that, Alex?
That's a weird record because it's like you can hear where Axel's songs are these really long, like expansive sagas, and then mine are like these 2-minute bursts. So it's pretty schizophrenic at the time.
So then Screech came out in 2014. Tell us a little bit about that one. How did your sound change at all in those 2 years, or?
Well, I mean, we've kind of always been all over the place. But when we do an album, we all want it to kind of fit together. So it's like, I feel like even some of the second album stuff we've been playing at the same time as, the first album stuff. And, but yeah, the first album's more like Pentagram, Sabbath. Second album's definitely more like new wave of British heavy metal, Maiden, Thin Lizzy. I got better at guitar, so we started doing more guitar harmonies. That was a big thing for us.
Yeah, we definitely were focusing more on complicated song structures too for the second album, for better or worse.
Your bass player vanished on us. See that? So what about so let's talk about the new album sound wise. Compare that to 2012. Is there a big difference in sound in those? He's back.
Nice. I mean, I think there is, but I remember telling the boys that that third album is like the most. It's like always what we were kind of going for, just with like influenced by old rock and roll, but trying to keep it fresh with a lot of prog and weird stuff.
So Magic, when did you come into the band, bud?
2018.
18. Okay. So let's talk about 2020 to roughly the end of last year, maybe a couple months before the end of last year. Obviously, we had the shitty pandemic thing. How did the pandemic affect the band?
Well, I don't know. Can we talk about what we did over the pandemic? Magic was dealing with a lot, and he lives far away from us. So the brothers, we locked down ourselves in the practice studio and started writing another album because we'd already had this one, right? It was done, and we're finally putting it out. But so the pandemic was good for us. It got us back jamming like every week, which we hadn't done in a long time. And when we went on tour last September with Magic, that made it that we had all been jamming through the pandemic, getting back to our roots, kind of, I feel like.
So Magic, I talked to Alex and Axel, I'll get to you in a second on this, but Magic, what are some of your influences? I talked about Alex with influences. What are some of your influences?
I listen to a lot of different music. I'd say it changes daily almost. A lot of old rock and roll. I've been listening to a lot of old country. I build guitar pedals. That's my main gig. Mm-hmm. And so I work with a lot of current doom and stoner bands. And so I do have a decent amount of that influence in there, and yeah.
What about you, Axel? Same question.
Well, specifically with Owl, I love love guitar harmony stuff. Fucking Champs and Donovan are two huge ones. Mammothist too, a Bay Area band.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just talking to my coworker yesterday. Is like I try to listen to, I try to listen to as much non-rock as possible, so that when I go see a show or I decide to put on a Black Sabbath record, it's it's kind of like hearing it for the first time again. Try not to oversaturate it. Listen to a lot of South American folk and stuff like that. Just got a bunch of jazz records from my friend's dad. It's good to I've always thought that was cool to try to listen to kind of, I don't know, stuff outside the metal realm, but then apply it to metal.
No, that's good. That keeps the sound fresh. That's good. So let's talk about the new release. It's called Geomancy. It's out February 17th on Lummpx Records. You guys can check your local streaming platforms. Check your streaming platforms for availability. I say that shit all the time. I shouldn't say local.
It's all local, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of redundant. So what was the first single off the album?
Let's see. Actually did
a pre-single back in 2018, Awaken the Mountain, when we thought we were going to release the album in 2018. So that was kind of the first single.
And there was also Minion to the Amethyst Cave. That's the first one that they started pushing, right? For the album, for this album?
When we finally committed to a timeline for putting this out, Minion was the first one that we put out there.
I'd call it a preview track, though. The real single is Pyramid Builder.
Pyramid Builder, okay. Got you.
Right?
Yeah, that is also out now as well. Those are, I feel like, the shorter, punchier songs. They're more melodic. And we've already released some of the songs in 2018, so, we wanted to put something out there to draw people in. But there's a lot of the meat still left on the album to carve into.
Let's talk about the band's the way you guys write songs. How do you guys do it? Is it a collaboration of the four of you in one room, or do you guys kind of write your own stuff and then everybody comes together and pieces it together? How do you guys craft your songs?
Alex and I pretty much bring a song to the table, like him or I, and we'll usually have some not so great ideas.
It gets owlified once we bring in 75% of the song.
Well, so we bring it together, and if we have stupid ideas, then the other three guys will be like, it's democratic once we have a skeleton, and then usually the skeleton will lose a few bones and then get some new ones too in the process.
So everybody does their own thing. You guys don't write all of it. Like Magic puts his bass on it.
Rarely that it's all totally complete.
No,
okay, good.
But this motherfucker is a composer, so sometimes he will just bring in a totally completed thing.
Yeah, and then I have to let go a little bit if somebody has a better idea, and I have to be
release a little of the control, right? So where did you guys record this album? Where was it recorded?
Trackworks in South San Francisco. Justin Weiss, great engineer.
Yeah, great guy to work with. Great masterer.
How long did it take to record?
Way too long.
Yeah, way too long.
It's over 3 years from beginning to finishing, tracking alone. And then, mixing, mastering, financing the release has been since 2020. So,
but all in all, maybe we only did 10 days of recording, but it was just spread out so long.
Now, do you guys have, I'll ask, let me go to Magic first. Do you have a favorite or any favorites on the album? I know it's like asking you to name your favorite kid, but do you have any standouts that you like on the album?
Yeah, there's a couple. I mean, the album's kind of like a roller coaster, so it is hard to pick one. But I mean, I'd say the ultimate track is Shadow. the long one.
I agree.
Hardest one to get right. But we really did pull out all the stops for that one. Pretty much like playing at the limit of our, our understanding, I think, of what we could do.
Yeah, totally.
Now, do you guys have any plans of touring, support tour for the album?
We'd like to go out in June. We're trying to see if those dates are going to work. Do a little West Coast thing. Try to put the word out there. Put the songs out there.
Well, that's cool. Looking forward to that for sure. So this next question is my personal favorite of the interview, because I try to get the best stories out of it. Do you guys have any good gig stories to tell? And the reason I ask this is because the bar is set really, really high right now. The owner of the best gig story so far is Lille Gruber from Defeated Sanity. It's a German death metal band, but he's got the best story. And I'll tell you what it is as soon as you tell me yours. But I want to hear a good, and I mean good, gig story.
Oh man.
Without incriminating anybody. Let's put that out there.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, Magic's covering his face. What did you do, Magic?
We try to stay away from those. We have
Have been some nights.
Or maybe the best nights we just don't remember.
Right.
Yeah, that would be the best nights. But so are you guys pleading the fifth on this one, or are we gonna go for it?
Okay, I'll try to chime in here.
All right.
So it was Olympia on our last Northwest tour.
That's Washington?
That's Olympia, Washington.
Okay.
And what did they have? Was it Old Granddad? Well whiskey.
Ooh.
And it was half. I don't know. You either get like a pitcher for yourself, or you get like 4 well drinks or something.
Oh, Jesus.
And have our night and shit. I went too hard on the Old Granddad personally. It's a good show. I remember that being super fun.
Oh yeah.
Then
Climbing your amp and jumping around.
Oh yeah, standard fare. And then at the end of the night, we're packing up and shit, and this huge banner that we made, like 12 feet by 24 feet, just
hand painted.
We did it ourselves. Just vanished. We're like, what the hell happened to this? So we were in like a rage trying to figure out how we were going to torture whoever stole our banner. And during all that, I was trying to load the van with Magic, and I remember falling on my face and blaming you, right, Magic, for letting me fall. Then somehow we got where we were going, and woke up the next day, and everybody was looking at me like a little smile on their face. And I was like, oh man, what happened? I feel really sick, but I didn't puke last night. Oh, it's so cool. I never puked. And they're like, oh yeah, you puked. And I go out to the kitchen and stay to this really nice guy's house. They super nice place for us to stay. And they're cleaning out the oven. And I'm like, oh shit, what happened? For some reason you got up at 7 a.m. and just puked in the oven. So I haven't been able to make it up to him since that happened, but that's all I got.
Well, just think, once the album sells 1 million copies, you can buy him a new oven. How's that sound, right?
Yeah, there you go.
So that's not bad, but it unfortunately doesn't top it doesn't give it the top story. So Lille Gruber's story was, he said that they were in, I want to say it's Baltimore, Maryland, but I blank out for where it was. It was somewhere in it was a kind of a town that was known for being a little violent. So the way he said it to me, it shocked the piss out of me, dude. I was like, whoa. So the way he said it to me he goes, when we were in, I think he said Baltimore, he goes, we kind of witnessed a murder. And I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? I guess they were in the tour bus, in their bus, in the back of the venue, and these two crackheads started fighting. One grabbed the hammer and started whacking the other one with it and killed him. Like, whoa. I'm like, all right, that's the top story so far. Nice job, bud.
Sounds like
But I know you guys have better ones, but unfortunately, I think somebody would get thrown under the bus. So we won't go there. We'll leave that just as that. So
stories for other
I'm trying to
bands.
be nice. We're all trying to be nice.
all right, so let's say you guys are doing this tour in June. Let's hypothetically, you guys are doing a tour in June. If you could take any two bands out with you, and I mean any two bands, doesn't have to be just local guys, any nationals, anybody. I'm going to start with Magic. Magic, who would you take with you? Two bands, anyone's. You get to pick.
I want to go last.
You want to go last? Okay. We haven't picked on Alex in a while. Let's pick on Alex. Go ahead, Alex.
Let's see. Bands from like right now, I assume, like current bands.
And any two bands.
Any two bands.
You guys can take the Mamas and the Papas for all I care.
That would be interesting. Okay,
But
all right.
Take any two. Who would it be?
I would take not a band, but an artist, Klaus Schulz from Germany.
All right.
Graduate of Tangerine Dream and like this ambient soundscape guy. Just to like set the mood, get everybody really bored, so that when we come out, it's like hella interesting.
Not a bad strategy. Not a bad strategy at all.
That would be one, and then I don't know, like MDC or something. Just some really fucking like gnarly hardcore. What the fuck show is this? Yeah, I like that.
How did I just walk into? All right, Axel, you're up, buddy. You're on the block.
Oh man, I'm gonna say that we open for like King Crimson and Funkadelic.
How about they open for you? Fuck that. They open
Yeah,
for
let's
you.
do it. Yeah.
All right. This is
I
your
had a dream about this once.
This is your okay. Now I can't wait to hear Magic, because I'll tell you the two that I think Magic is going to say after he tells me who he says.
I was actually going to say King Crimson,
Fuck.
Black Oak, Arkansas, or something like that.
Yeah, dude. Most realistic of the group.
I was going to say you were going to take like a Black Sabbath and Clutch. That's who I picked for you, but you went different. That's good, man. That's good.
I wouldn't say no to that.
Are you guys doing anything? Are you guys doing anything special for the release of the album? It's coming out on Friday the 17th, right?
We are doing a show at the Stork Club in Oakland.
Like a CD release, or
what's that?
Like a CD release?
Oh yeah, a record release. We just have LPs right now. We're probably going to make CDs and tapes soon, but we're just trying to push what we got right now.
You guys got the vinyl first?
Yeah.
That's weird, man, because vinyl they're so far behind in vinyl production. That's cool that you guys got it. I'm glad you did, but they're so far out on vinyl production. It's like 6 or 7 months, something like that.
It's a whole new world.
Well, keep in mind, one of the reasons it took so long to get this released is that our attitude was we're going to do it exactly right or not at all.
So you went vinyl first. All right, that's cool. No, I get it. So do you guys have anything else to tell the folks before we wrap it up? I've taken way too much of your time as it is. So,
I mean, yeah, happy to do this talk with you. This is great. I think we're all very excited to get this out to the masses and play some of this stuff live. Some of it's never been played before, so I'm pretty stoked about that.
I would say for any of the like 24 people that remember like what we sounded like, they'll be really pleased with this album. It's a progression of where we were coming from before. And for those people, I say like rock on, party on, and
Party on.
I really want to see you guys at the show. We love touring.
I love Magic's just giggling. I love it. He's just giggling over there. What about you guys? You got anything to say to the folks before we wrap up, bud?
Yeah, have a good night.
Fair enough. Folks, you guys can check out the new one from Owl. It's called Geomancy. It's out February 17th on Lummpx Records. Check your streaming platforms, not local, streaming platforms for availability. For more info, you can check out facebook.com/Owl Brotherhood, Instagram @Owl_Brotherhood, and owlbrotherhood.net, I believe, is your website, correct?
Yes.
And you can also search Bandcamp for Owl, and they will pop right up. And make sure you remember Bandcamp Friday, first Friday of the month, so that the band gets all of the money, which would be great because that'll be fun. So, tell me about this next album before we go. Tell me about. You guys said you were writing. Is that what's next for you guys? You're doing another album?
That's what's next for us. Yeah.
All right, cool. So, any titles, working titles for it?
We might want to hold off on that for now, but it's,
we did our complicated prog epic album with Geomancy, so the next one's going to be more like balls out, simplified, by our standards. It's still going to be.
I mean, a good working title for an album is Fuzz. Perfect. Just saying. All right, boys. Listen, I appreciate you guys taking your time out, and Magic and Axel, thanks for joining us. I definitely appreciate the bonus.
Thank you so much.
Good luck with the album. Hopefully, see you guys out on the road soon, and keep writing that fourth album because it's probably going to be even better than what you guys put out. Not that it's the bar set high. You guys set the bar high with this one. It's a great album, guys. Make sure you go check it out. And again, guys, thanks for hanging out with us. Appreciate it, guys. This is Owl. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Thanks.